Across the country, many students and teachers have recognized problems with the traditional grading system and how it is not working for its intended purpose. Educators have made numerous changes that better serve students by leveling the playing field. For example, schools in Detroit, Michigan recently began placing restrictions on the amount of graded assignments students in each grade level can receive. Similarly, in light of a growth in failing grades issued during the pandemic, Fairfax County, Virginia's public schools have made numerous changes, including placing the absolute minimum grade at a 50% rather than a 0%. And finally, the school board in San Diego, California has considered several changes to grading policies in order to combat racial inequality by instead awarding grades based on mastery of skills rather than numerical averages. These examples alone demonstrate the need for changing traditional modes of grading in schools because they are counterintuitive to students' learning and therefore can and should be reimagined and replaced with alternatives which support students' interests and motivations. To suggest something as bold as abolishing our traditional alphabetical grading system may seem very outlandish. It can be hard to understand why one would make such a forward statement. After all, it would seem the grading system is doing a fine job since we've kept it so long. However, a dysfunctional system should not be kept simply because it has existed for a long time. According to a video essay by English professor and prolific YouTuber Zoe B., the original purpose of grading was to accurately measure a student's progress. Therefore, grades are intended to be used as a communication tool by teachers to parents and students, as well as an external motivator. Obviously, though, the evolution of grades and their place in our education system is much more complicated. Grades are inherently subjective. Every teacher grades differently, so standardized grading scales are hard to maintain. Because we don't always know what grades mean, they are not very good at summarizing or communicating a student's progress. Grades also offer a false view on crucial aspects of learning, therefore preventing students from reaching their full potential. For example, when earning a certain grade is the sole indicator of a student's success on an assignment, they often ignore more detailed feedback or comments from their instructor. This prevents students from attaining true mastery of their coursework. These problems and others showcase how the grading system does not achieve what we believe it to. Therefore, we must consider other methods of summarizing student success. According to Linda B. Nelson, a new grading system should motivate students to learn and excel, discourage cheating, reduce student stress, save faculty time, give students feedback they will use, and foster higher-order cognitive development and creativity, among other aspects. Solutions to this problem will require lots of out-of-the-box thinking and will certainly differ based on the needs of the community and the students in the school themselves. One way to solve the problem appears to be unsatisfactory, satisfactory, or high-pass, pass-fail type grading systems. This grading system simplifies student progress so everyone can understand what is expected in every assignment, making it easier to meet the criteria and producing better grades. It will also make material that a student needs to work on more clear so they are able to improve. It also removes the negative stigma that comes with poor grades, as well as toxic competition between students. Brooklands Middle School 442 in New York is one of the many schools that have eliminated the use of the alphabetical grading system and traded it in for a mastery-based grading system. This system focuses more on having students learn grade-level skills while giving them adequate time to understand the material and the opportunity to move on quickly if that is the case. This ensures students retain the material throughout their educational career rather than chugging and dumping. Laura Reddies, former assistant professor of philosophy at St. Lawrence University, has a solution for schools having trouble switching smoothly to new grading systems. She suggests that teachers introduce a system of guided self-assessment, which allows students to grade their own work. She observed that her students were grateful for the opportunity and that it challenged their integrity and helped them make improvements for their own work, which is a very useful skill to have in life. The pandemic has made ripples through the world of education, with many concerned students, teachers, and parents inspired to make meaningful changes in the ways learning is structured in the United States. We must turn our attention to the grading system in hopes of reimagining it in new ways which promote student learning over numerical averages. Our traditional grading systems actively discourage students from taking risks or exploring their interests and passions. We must make these improvements to grading systems. It is imperative for fostering learning environments which are more equitable and more productive and churn out students who are more curious and more motivated to learn.